You tell yourself to stop overthinking, but you don't. You replay conversations. You analyze someone's tone. You try to predict every possible outcome. And you imagine the absolute worst-case scenarios. And then you get frustrated with yourself for not being able to just let it go. But what if I told you that overthinking isn't a sign of weakness? What if your brain is actually doing exactly what it was designed to do? Overthinking doesn't feel good, we know that, but it feels productive. And my friends, that is the trap. Today we're going deep into the neuroscience and psychology behind why your brain gets addicted to overthinking, and how understanding the why is the first step to finally breaking free. First, let's talk about the illusion of control. Your brain absolutely hates uncertainty. When things are uncertain, it activates our internal threat system. And what's the fastest way for your brain to try and reduce that uncertainty? By thinking. It tells you, if I just analyze this situation enough, if I prepare for every single outcome, if I can just find the one mistake, maybe then I'll feel safe. Overthinking feels like you're taking control of an uncontrollable situation, but most of the time, it's just simulated control. Your brain is running endless mental rehearsals to protect you from future pain, even if that pain is never going to happen in the first place. Here's the second piece of the puzzle. And it's something most people don't know. Overthinking can actually trigger a dopamine response. Now, it's not because ruminating feels good. It's because the act of searching for answers creates a sense of anticipation. Your brain gives you a little reward for almost solving something. Every new theory you come up with, every new explanation, every new possibility feels like you're making progress, even if you're just circling the exact same thought over and over again. This is precisely why overthinking can become so addictive. It tricks you into feeling like you're doing something important and productive. Next, we have to talk about the amygdala, your brain's threat detector. When something feels emotionally unresolved, a tough conversation, a mistake at work, your amygdala stays active. It doesn't care if the threat is a tiger in the jungle or the fear of social rejection, embarrassment, or failure. Your brain processes all of them as danger, so it keeps scanning, replaying, and analyzing, because from a survival perspective, making a mistake equals risk, and risk equals danger. It asks your brain as ancient wiring, trying to keep you safe in a modern world where the threats are often emotional, not physical. This leads us to why your brain won't just let it go. People love to give that advice, don't they? Just stop thinking about it. But our brains don't have an off switch. Unresolved events create what neuroscientists call open loops, and the brain has a deep-seated need to close them. It keeps replaying an event not to punish you, but to try and extract meaning from it. It's desperately seeking clarity and predictability. It wants to learn a lesson to prevent the next emotional hit. This is pure survival logic. It's not a character flaw. Now, let's add stress into the mix. Overthinking is almost always accompanied by stress, which means your body starts producing more cortisol. You might feel your shoulders tense up or your heart rate subtly increase. This physical state of high alert sends a message back to your brain, making your thoughts feel even more urgent and important. Your brain thinks, wow, my body is reacting so strongly. This must be a really big deal. So it thinks even more. Stress feeds the thinking, and the thinking feeds the stress. It's a vicious cycle that just keeps strengthening itself. And here's something really interesting. Smart, highly analytical people can actually be more prone to overthinking. Why? Because a higher cognitive capacity often means a stronger ability to simulate different scenarios. If you can imagine more potential outcomes, you can also imagine more potential problems. So, in this case, intelligence doesn't always reduce anxiety. Sometimes it can amplify it. Your brain can generate incredibly detailed, vivid worst-case futures. It thinks it's helping you prepare, but preparation without action just turns into paralysis. This brings us to the false productivity trap. Overthinking feels like effort, and we've been taught that putting in effort is a responsible, mature thing to do. But here's the catch. Thinking without any corresponding action creates immense mental exhaustion. Your brain burns a massive amount of energy without actually solving anything in the real world. That's why after hours of being stuck in your head, you feel completely drained, but your situation hasn't changed one bit. Your brain confuses all that mental activity with real, tangible progress. Have you ever noticed that this spiral gets way worse at night? There's a reason for that. At night, all the external stimulation from your day drops away. There are no tasks to do, no people to talk to, no distractions to occupy your mind. And when those distractions disappear, your internal activity skyrockets. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for regulation and logic, is also getting tired and becomes less effective. This allows emotional memories and worries to get much louder. It's like your brain says, okay, the world is quiet. Now we can finally solve everything. Except you don't. You spiral. Because a tired brain is much worse at regulating its own thoughts and emotions. So, how do we start to break this loop? Understanding the mechanism is the key that changes everything. You have to see overthinking for what it is. A threat response, a dopamine anticipation cycle, an illusion of control, and a stress-amplified habit. When you can recognize it in the moment, you stop identifying with it so personally. Instead of thinking, I am an overthinker, you can start to shift your perspective to, my brain is running a protection pattern right now. That small shift in language creates just enough space to breathe. I want you to leave here today knowing this. You do not overthink because you read broken or flawed. You overthink because you have a brain that is fundamentally designed to protect you from pain. It's trying to predict, to control, and to prepare. But real safety doesn't come from running endless simulations in your head. It comes from learning to tolerate uncertainty and from taking small, meaningful actions in the real world. Once you truly understand the pattern, you stop fighting your brain. You learn to guide it instead. And slowly but surely, the loop begins to lose its power. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content on how to work with your mind, not against it. See you in the next one.